We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything, and I mean everything about college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends if you want to support this college football rebel outpost for college football sickos like you. Then hit the $sign where you make a comment, and I'll get you super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome into the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to be a legend with your comments in the chat room, with your phone calls later in the show. The college football playoff picture. If Ryan Brooks drew up that picture right now, it might look beautiful. It would look different than Jared Jones if he drew a picture of the college football playoffs. And those two pictures would be different than Caleb Ramirez, than the Evil Badger Jeff Olson, than BYU Cougar Kenneth Stromness. We would all draw a different picture. Today we're going to be looking at a picture drawn by the senior writer at Yahoo Sports. Just for fun. Just for fun. We're going to look at what he is projecting. the reasons why. We're going to be going through his article. We're going to look at his bracket. Just to get us going. Think about, none of us are going to agree with it in total. Some of you are going to completely disagree with it. A lot of us is going to fall somewhere in between. But again, just to stir the pot a little bit, just to get your imaginations rolling, how it could be. The dramatic first round games, going into the second round games, going into the semifinals. Holy smokes. So many storylines going on. So we're going to be doing that. And then, in the second half of our monologue today, on October 29th, Greg the Cooler is going to be making his selections. You guys are going to be voting on your picks against the spread for Week 10. Again, just to keep everybody updated. My record against the spread is 39 wins and losses. The record for the PATC community is 42 wins and losses. You guys are 3 games ahead of me. After this week, it's probably going to be 4 games or 5 games ahead of me. I do not feel good about this week. I don't feel good about it. Now you might be asking yourself, Greg, you should not feel good about any week because you are horrible. You are Greg the Cooler. You're absolutely right. But maybe my narcissistic personality disorder comes on in and I have this euphoria. I believe I'm going to have a winning week. Now it doesn't work out that way. But this week I can't even fake it. This week is a very tough week. And maybe you'll agree with me when you guys go through the picks. Let me know if if anybody remembers who's supposed to pick first this week. Is it myself or you guys? I don't even care, but I don't want to be accused of cheating. My 39-55 record, I might be accused of cheating. I don't want to be accused of cheating. So let me know who goes first. Or somebody flip a coin. Somebody flip a coin in the PATC community and let me know who goes first. Okay, John Till, please whisper sweet Pac-12 nothings into my ear. Thank you for the super chat, John Till. I've been getting asked quite often about the Pac-12 situation, about the Mountain West situation, about ACC and Florida State, Clemson, and the negotiations going on between ESPN and Jim Phillips. Either I have nothing or there is nothing that I can forward to you at this time. Believe me, if I had something that I could release, this is college football's peek around the corner. We've made our bread and butter and given you the peek around the corner, which I believe with an incredible track record, but I have nothing today that I can discuss. Those stories and a couple of other big stories. One of them, we've had the goods for a few weeks. And I have not been given the go-ahead. I will say this. Once I've been given the go-ahead, Greg Pflugar's name is going to get raked over the coals once again. And that's okay. That's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. So keep your head on a swivel. Subscribe to our channel and have those notifications turned on. You never know. September 9th, we gave you guys the peak. So there's stuff. We're waiting. We are absolutely waiting to give the go-ahead. But thank you, John Teal, for your super chat. For once again, your generosity you've given us to this channel. Thank you so very much. A couple other points. Yeah, we've been on football, and we're going to continue to be on football. And I get it. There's a lot of people, look, you ask any other college football YouTube channel out there, the viewership goes down at this point. There are people who have turned off college football. They don't want the extra content because they're depressed about it. It happens every late October into November. I get it. People are depressed. They're going to wait till the season's over, when the portal goes open, recruiting, things that people can believe in, get back into it. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here when people get back into it. Of course, there's going to be realignment talk. There's going to be a lot of different talks going on in the off season. And this channel is going to be here for the people who come back. But this is my third year doing this. And this is what happens. And I'm okay with it. I love college football. If there was only one person here besides me, I'd be talking college football. We talk about the games. We talk about the storylines, the conference playoff races. And there's a lot of people not interested because their team is decimated. I completely understand it. Gorb, be civil with coaches and their families. Thank you, Gorb. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, it's okay for us to say, to talk about who's on the hot seat and everything, but to go after these coaches on social media, to go after their family members, are you kidding me? Holy smokes. Absolutely correct, Gorb. Absolutely correct. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the reminder. Thank you, Jeff Olson. Hello, Sickles. Afternoon. Greg, you are the best. Hit that like button. I have a million of them, MBM. I have a million of them. Stephen McNeely is in the house. Thanks for coming on in. Randy Taylor, Kenneth Stromness, Jeff Olson, Caleb Ramirez, Jay Go Blue, Ryan Brooks, LSU, Alabama. LSU, Alabama. I don't have that game as one of my picks to do today. Alabama, LSU, an elimination game. James Foster, go Sun Devils. Florida man, Charlie Atwood about to go 8-0. Charlie Atwood and the Penn State Nittany Lions about to go 8-0. Mr. Buckeye Gerald Jones is in the house. David Griffin is here. Joaquin Morales. Marcus Williams. Okay. Couple other things I want to talk about here in a second. Gibson, go Wazoo. Go Wazoo, 7-1. Ranked this week. Ricky, thank you so much for the gift and membership. Holy smokes. Thank you, Gorb. Thank you for your donation. Thank you, John Till. Thank you, Ricky. Gifted a membership. Finally tuned. Was gifted the membership. Finally tuned. When you get an opportunity, please say thank you to Ricky Tungate for his generosity. Ricky and Finally tuned. Both of you are officially knighted Cloak and Dagger. Thank you so much, Ricky. And again, we have not popped an early peak Cloak and Dagger episode for a few weeks. We have one all lined up, ready to go. But I'm not going to burn anybody. I'm waiting for the go-ahead. So that's the best I can do. I do apologize, everybody. There is one that is in the hopper. We'll see what happens. The architect is in the house. Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate your incredible generosity to our channel once again. Mr. Buffalo Richard L. Colorado Buffaloes are still in the hunt. Still in the hunt. The architect, things are heating up in college football. Go Black 45. Hello, Greg in Sickles. Thank you, Go Black 45, for coming on in. Couple things I want to discuss. There is a blizzard warning for Halloween here in Minnesota. Blizzard warning in a couple days. This winter is going to be brutal. And I don't know if the fat guy from Minnesota is going to be able to endure to survive this winter, but I'm going to do all that I can. It is going to be brutal in Minnesota. Starting off fast, cold, unbelievable. Number 2 on the list, before we get into the monologue. As you see here on my X account, Greg Flugar, no, I'm not verified. Unidentified Flugarian object. YouTube channel College Football's Peek Around the Corner with Greg Flugar. Unidentified Flugarian object. And we've talked about it on this channel. 99% of what we talk about is college football. 99.99% of what we talk about is college football. But 0.01, we talk about the unidentified Flugarian objects that are flying around. On November 13th, remember the day, November 13th, there's going to be hearings on Capitol Hill in regards to those unidentified Flugarian objects, and I might just do a live show of it. I might do a live show of it. I might do a live stream of it. Possibly. Maybe. That week, I am on vacation. The wife is on vacation. The wife is leaving the state again. Not going to Illinois, but going to Iowa. So I'm going to take a little bit of that week off. But I'm going to be close to the studio, just in case there's breaking news, whatever. But I'm going to get a little bit of a mental break. People are going to be coming here and taking care of my mother, my 91-year-old mother, and I'm going to be getting a week off, but coming back here in the studio to do college football that week. On November 13th, I might just say heck with it, because that could be a very big day when it comes to the unidentified Flugarian objects. So I might do that. Now, hopefully I don't lose a bunch of you. Hopefully you guys don't, unsubscribe. We'll see what happens. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. And Gorb just turned the AC on. Chief meteorologist says there's a huge cold front over a home in North Minneapolis. Well, I don't live in North Minneapolis right now. We live in northern metro area. But there is a blizzard coming. There is a blizzard coming. Jeff Morgan says, do it. Well, look. November 13th is going to make it's going to be on the news. So I might as well just do it. Ryan Matson is in the house. No, I would not be doing November 5th. Not on this channel. Nope. Nope. You guys can, on November 5th, you guys can figure out what you want to do on that day. But I'm going to be, November 5th, I'm not even going to be able to do November 5th, I'm not going to be able to do the playoffs. First night of the playoffs, where they show the rankings. I'm not going to be able to do that. Hopefully, early Wednesday morning, I'll do a reaction to it. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. First of all, let's get into Jose is in the house. Cornhuskers, Skaven, yes, yes. Sheep and Wolves Clothing. I think my Gophers are going to make a bowl game, Opie, and I think we're going to talk about that today. And I don't think it's going to be just any old bowl game. The Gophers are on a roll, but I don't want to put the cooler on that right now. Let's push that off for a second. Okay, college football playoff picture. Here's what the 12-team bracket looks like after week 9. Nick Bromberg, senior writer, Yahoo Sports. Again, we're going to be doing a lot of these. I love these. Everybody's going to disagree with this. Somehow, some way, you're going to disagree with this. If everybody drew up a projection, we'd all be different. And that is okay. It's fantastic. This is Nick Bromberg's projections. Number one seeded overall, Oregon. 8-0, projected the Big Ten champion. Bromberg has Georgia, number 2 overall, projected as the SEC champion. A visit to Michigan, Oregon on Saturday is probably the toughest game remaining. But don't sleep on a trip to Wisconsin on November 16th. Oregon should be favored in that contest and has one of the easiest paths to 12-0 of all the remaining unbeaten teams. The Bulldogs aren't in first place in the SEC. But Mr. Bromberg is confident in them at the moment. Number 3, according to the projections of the senior writer of Yahoo Sports, Miami comes in as number 3. Could Miami sneak up to a 2 seed? It's possible. The Hurricanes' schedule is easier than Oregon's. Miami has Duke this Saturday, along with Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Syracuse. The trip to the Orange could be tricky, but if Miami goes 12-0 or even 11-1 and beats Clemson in the ACC title game, the Hurricanes could be higher than number 3. Number 4, BYU. Yahoo Sports has BYU getting the last conference champion bye-week slot, number 4, BYU. The Cougars were underdogs at UCF and ended up winning 37-24. The Cougars held on to the ball for over 40 minutes. BYU is off in Week 10 this week before visiting Utah, the Holy War. Wow. BYU gets the 4th spot. Number 12, Boise State. And then we'll get into it. At 5, Penn State. We'll get into it. Number 11, Clemson. At Ohio State. So Bromberg's got Clemson losing to Miami in the ACC championship game. Number 10, Texas A&M. At number 7, Texas. And we'll get into that in a moment. Number 9, Notre Dame. At number 8, Tennessee. And we'll get into that in a moment. Look at the bracket. This is the projected bracket of the senior writer at Yahoo Sports. Texas against Texas A&M. Remember, they play each other. They have to play each other at the end of the year. And then after the SEC championship game, and then when the playoffs come out, they've got Texas A&M playing Texas. Bromberg has Texas playing Georgia in the SEC championship game. If you notice, Bromberg's got Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. 4 SEC teams. Bromberg's got Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. 3 Big Ten teams. He does not have Indiana making it. Clemson and Miami are the ACC teams. BYU is the Big 12 team, 1 Big 12 team. Notre Dame, Independent, and Boise State, the G5. So Texas A&M being played in Austin, Texas in the first round. The winner of that plays Georgia. Ohio State, Clemson. They've got Clemson playing Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. And then the winner of that plays Miami. Notre Dame would have to go to Neyland Stadium against Tennessee and Knoxville, Tennessee in the first round. And then Boise State would have to go to Happy Valley, play Penn State in the first round. And the winner of that would play BYU. That is Nick Bromberg's CFC college football playoff picture. Now, I am going to hold off one more week. Early next week, I'm going to release my projections. My first official projections right before they show them Tuesday night. I'll probably do that on a Monday or a Tuesday morning live show. So let me know what you think of these projections. Let me know what you think would be your projections at this time going into week 10. Now, what Illini Ted, no Indiana, no Iowa State. That's correct. That is correct. Patrick Baird, BYU, Iowa State undefeated, but the loser of the Big 12 does not get in. And got to see what happens at Ohio State, Penn State. I need one more week. I want to do it the same week that the committee is going to put their projections. I'm going to put my projections. Okay, have we decided yet? Have we decided who goes first with our picks? I tell you what, you guys are going to go first. How about that? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Here we go. First game on the docket for week 10. And again, to me, this is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable tough week. Oh boy. I'm giving you guys, Stephen McNeely did not like that bracket. I don't blame him. It was controversial. No question about it. Opie says we all should go together since we all suck. Well, you guys are doing better than I am. So there's different levels of suckness, and I'm at the bottom. Okay, here we go. Let's not get into that. Let's go. All right. Does Ohio State cover the -3.5 point spread versus Penn State? My goodness. I don't even. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck. If you vote yes, you're voting for Ohio State and you're giving 3.5. If you vote no, you're voting Penn State and getting 3.5 points. The voting begins now. Good luck with this, guys. Good luck. I know I got no shot. I know I've got no shot at getting this game right. NBM says Franklin is going to Franklin. Stephen McNeely says this could be Penn State's year. Jose says take the points. Take the points. It's a close vote. I'm going to give the voting 5 more seconds. Opie wants to abstain. Opie, you do not have to vote. Nobody is forced to vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 55% says no. Interesting. Interesting. So the PATC community starts off by taking Penn State. You're going to grab the 3.5 points at home against the Buckeyes. Franklin is what? 1-9 against the Buckeyes. Very interesting. The PATC community might have started to hit the liquor cabinet a little early today on a Tuesday, October 29th. Does Ole Miss cover -7 point spread versus Jamie Thornton's Arkansas Razorbacks? Whoops. I didn't even post the poll. Hold on. Woo! Hold on, guys. Does Ole Miss cover the -7 point spread versus Arkansas? Yes, you're taking Ole Miss, given 7 points. If you vote no, you're taking Arkansas +7 points The voting begins now. Five more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 28 votes came in. No, 64%. The PATC community went hard on Arkansas. So far, the PATC community has taken both home teams, Penn State and Arkansas. Oh boy, for the first time in a long time, we are doing a Minnesota Golden Gopher game against the Fighting Illini. Does Minnesota cover the -3 point spread versus Illinois? If you vote yes, you're taking Minnesota given the 3. If you vote no, you're taking Illinois +3. The voting begins now. Illini Ted. Brett Bielema doesn't lose to Minnesota. Don Scruggs, PATC, you guys are crazy. AMAC, Minnesota favored. What is Vegas smoking? NE, taking Minnesota after last week. That quarterback can sling that thing. 5 more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 62% says no. PATC community going big on Illinois. So far, the PATC community has taken all 3 home teams. Very interesting. Either the community is on to something or they're on something. Oregon at Michigan. Now, Oregon comes off the game smashing the Fighting Illini. Michigan wins a game that a lot of people weren't expecting them, to come out on top in the end against their arch rival, Michigan State. But Michigan does it. Michigan is getting 15 points at the Big House. Does Oregon cover -15 point spread versus Michigan? If you vote yes, you're taking Oregon and you're given 15 points. If you vote no, that means you're taking Michigan and you're collecting the 15 points. The voting begins now. Lee says Oregon is going to smack them. Richard L., Ducks will win by 28. MBM says Ducks will win by 14. The home advantage is a real thing, Greg, but that is baked into the spread. That is baked in there. 5 more seconds on the vote. We have a landslide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 67% takes Oregon PATC community strong on the Ducks? Are they going to be strong on Don Scruggs' Bulldogs? Are they? Is the PATC community going to be strong on Don Scruggs' Bulldogs? We're going to find out. Does Georgia cover the minus 16.5 point spread versus Florida? If you vote yes, you're taking Georgia and you're giving 16.5 points. If you vote no, you're taking Florida and you are receiving 16.5 points. The voting begins now. Don Scruggs, hell yes. Don't lose your money, PATC. Stephen Vitt says Georgia by 24. David Griffin says Georgia all the way. AMAC, Georgia better cover. Lee Go Gators just arrived. Of course, we're taking the Gators. Lee Go Gators. Richard Al says Georgia's easy money. Wow. Wow, there's a lot of strong opinions in the PATC community today. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of games here I don't have strong opinion on. I feel very unsure about myself. I don't think Greg the Gold even has a chance to crack open the door to get into the studio this week. 5 more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 62% says yes. The community goes big on the Georgia Bulldogs. Big on the Georgia Bulldogs. Okay, here we go. Indiana at Michigan State. Indiana at Michigan State. Does Indiana cover the minus 7.5 point spread versus Michigan State? If you vote yes, you're taking Indiana and you're given 7.5 points. If you vote no, that means you want to take Michigan State and receive 7.5 points. The voting begins now. AMAC, who's the starting quarterback of the Indiana? Stephen Vitt, Indiana by 21 over Michigan State. Lee Go Gators, only 7.5. Stephen McNeely, is Rourke playing? I don't know. My crystal ball has been broken for many, many years, as you've witnessed with my 39-50 record this year against the spread. We are going to give the 5 more seconds on the vote, and it's a landslide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 81% of the community takes Indiana. Holy smokes. An absolute blowout. And you guys have no idea who the Hoosiers quarterback is going to be. Now we're talking about Iowa State here, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Tech just lost a tough game to TCU. Now they got to go on the road to play in Ames, Iowa State. A lot of people did not like the senior writers' projections of Yahoo Sports of the college football playoff leaving Iowa State off. Is Iowa State Cyclones, they're going to whip up on the Red Raiders? We'll see what you guys got to say here. Does Iowa State cover the minus 14 point spread versus Texas Tech Red Raiders. If you vote yes, you're taking the Cyclones and you're given 14. If you take in Texas Tech, you want, I'm sorry. If you vote yes, you're taking the Cyclones, given 14. If you vote no, you're taking 14 points plus Texas Tech. The voting begins now. AMAC says, go past this one, Greg, please. Gorb, Greg the Yeti Cooler. Man, I wish I could fake confidence this week. I wish I could fake it. I can't even fake it. That's how down and out I am. 39-55. I can't even pretend this week. Okay, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is an absolute rout. 68% of the community takes Iowa State. My goodness. My goodness. What about this game? What about this game? Does Nebraska cover the minus 6.5 point spread versus UCLA? If you vote yes, you're taking Nebraska and you're given 6.5. If you vote no, that means you want UCLA plus 6.5. The voting begins now. Five more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 70%. 70% takes the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I'm going to give you a little hint. Of all the 12 games on the list today, this game is the one that I'm most sure of. This is the game I'm going to get right. If I go 1-11, which there is a good chance I'm going to go 1-11, this will be the one I get right. So buckle up when we get back to that game during my prediction segment. Landslide. Nebraska is chosen by the PATC community. Louisville at Clemson. Clemson is favored by 10.5. Does Clemson cover the minus 10.5 point spread versus Louisville? If you vote yes, that means you want Clemson and you're given 10.5. If you vote no, that means you want Louisville and you're grabbing the 10.5 points. The voting begins now. Five more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 62% says yes. Clemson is the pick for the PATC community. Texas A&M at South Carolina. Here we go. Does Texas A&M cover the -2.5 point spread versus South Carolina? I got thoughts on this game. I've got thoughts on this game. If you vote yes, you're taking A&M and you're giving 2.5. If you vote no, you're taking South Carolina and you're getting 2.5. The voting begins now. We've got a close one. We've actually got a close one here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give the community 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 54% says yes, Texas A&M. That was the closest one we've had this week from the community. Wisconsin at Iowa. The Heartland Trophy. The big rivalry. Let's see what happens here. Does Iowa cover the -3 point spread versus Wisconsin? If you're voting yes, you're taking Iowa and you are willing to give 3 points. If you're voting no, that means you're taking Wisconsin and you're getting 3 points. The voting begins now. Jamie Thornton. Earlier, we did the Arkansas game, and the PATC community took the Razorbacks. Just to let you know, Jamie Thornton, they went big on the Razorbacks to cover. 5 more seconds. The game that has 2 evil entities playing against each other. I hope it goes 18 overtimes. Iowa, Wisconsin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 54% says Iowa. The PATC community takes Iowa. The PATC community, other than 2 games, has taken the favorite so far. Pittsburgh at SMU. Does SMU cover the -7.5 point spread versus Pittsburgh? If you vote yes, you're taking SMU and you're willing to give 7.5. If you're voting no, that means you want Pittsburgh and you're taking the 7.5. The voting begins now. Jeff Morgan, I really hate picking Pittsburgh. Jamie Thornton, Lane Kiffin has never beaten Arkansas at Arkansas as a head coach. We're going to give 5 more seconds on this landslide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 83% taken Pittsburgh. My goodness, what a landslide. They are not convinced. The PATC community is not convinced that SMU is going to cover the 7.5 point spread. The PATC community took Penn State, Arkansas, Illinois, Oregon, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa State, Nebraska, Clemson, Texas A&M, Iowa, and Pittsburgh. And now, it's time. Week 10. The first 9 weeks, Greg the Cooler has had 1 winning week. The rest of them have been either tie, which is losing, or straight out losing. Can the miracle happen? Can Greg the Gold make an appearance? Let's go! All right, enough of that. I don't even deserve that music right now. I've got no belief in myself. Let's just get this pain over. Let's get this pain over with. My goodness. The Buckeyes in the Lions. Well, so I got a feeling that Drew Aller is going to be the quarterback. First of all, I got a feeling that the Buckeyes are not going to be able to figure out that offensive line. I got a feeling that Coach Franklin, at some point in this game, is going to screw up. And I'm talking about like a fake punt when they don't need to do it, or like a halfback pass when they don't need to do it. They're going to get too cute. Here's the thing. Penn State is a better coached team this year with the offensive coordinator, Andy Koltonicki. There's something wrong with the Buckeyes. I'm taking Penn State. I'm taking Penn State. Franklin is 1-9 against the Buckeyes, but I'm taking Penn State. Why? Because I'm a moron. But I'm taking Penn State. They're going to cover the plus 3.5 points. On to the next game. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Now, this is a little bit easier for me because of Mr. Taylon Green, the quarterback of the Razorbacks. Everybody's a believer. I'm a believer. I'm taking the Razorbacks plus 7. So far, I've agreed with the PATC community on the first 2 games. But not this game. Not this game. Not this Saturday. I don't care if Minnesota has never defeated the head coach of the Fighting Illini, Mr. Bielema. Brett Bielema is going down. The Gophers are on a roll. We're not just going to go in there and win by 4 to cover the spread. We are going to take the doors, the hinges off, and we're going to blow that place up. Champaign, Illinois is never going to be the same again. The Golden Gophers, with Max Brosmere, who went 26 of 33, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, completing 70% of his passes on the year. Darius Taylor is healthy. The secondary is ball hawking. The Gophers are not the same team they were at the beginning of the season. This is the Golden Gophers. This is the Golden Gopher team in which when Penn State gets this big monster albatross off their back and they beat the Buckeyes this week, it is the Gophers on November 23rd that the Nittany Lions are going to have to be afraid of. It's November 23rd, which the apple cart is going to be tossed over, where there's going to be playoff chaos caused by my beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers. Now, we're weeks away from that game. We're weeks away from that game, but you guys, the PATC community took Illinois by 60-some%. You guys have not been paying attention. You have not been paying attention. Everybody's got their oars in the water, and they're all rowing at the same time. All the energy. The compass is set directly to a January 1st bowl game. We're not going to Detroit. We're not going to Arizona. We're not going to the pinstripe game. We are going to a January 1st bowl game because we are going to run the table. We're going to win out. We've won 3 in a row, and Illinois is going to be number 4. 4 in a row, the Golden Gophers. Greg the Gold has spoken. Okay, I'm exhausted. Oregon at Michigan. This is simple. Oregon. That is going to be an absolute blowout. Florida at Georgia. Georgia. I got Georgia on my mind. I got Georgia. Another blowout. 16.5 points is not enough. But this game, I got Sparty. I'm taking the 7.5. I think the Hoosiers are going to have another a win, but it's going to be close. They're going to meet adversity. They're going to be on the road. And if Rourke does play, he's not going to be 100% healthy. Indiana got outgained by the Washington Huskies. They won it in a different fashion. Good for the Hoosiers. They're going to have to do the same probably at East Lansing. But Michigan State's going to win this. Michigan State's going to lose this game by 7, by 6, by 5, by 4, by 3, by 2, by 1. But they're not going to lose this game by 8 or more. I'm taking Michigan State. This is an interesting game to me. This is an interesting game. I got a feeling that the Red Raiders are going to keep this close. I got the Red Raiders plus 14. Too many points. Too many points. Iowa State is playing it close to the vest right now, which is fine. They're going to win this game, which is fine. But the Red Raiders are going to keep it within 14. Now, I said this is the lock of the week. This is the game. If I go 1-11, if I go 1-11, this is the game I'm going to get correct. Nebraska is sitting on 5 wins. They are 5-3. They haven't made it to a bowl game since 2016. This game is so important to the Cornhuskers. And they're going to get their win. They're going to get their win, and they're going to be bowl eligible, and a humongous weight is going to be lifted off the shoulders of the program. The players, the coaches, the boosters, the faculty, the fans, everybody. However, it's going to be a tight game. One of those games that could go either way. I think Nebraska's going to win. I don't think either team's going to be able to run the ball a lick. So it's going to be Garbers versus Raiola. And I don't think Rayola's going to make the same mistakes against the Bruins. I think Nebraska wins. It's going to be very tight. But I am taking UCLA to cover. Louisville, Clemson. Clemson in a blowout. No way does Louisville... This game, the line surprises me. I do not understand the line. Whoops, we already did that one. My bad. Texas A&M at South Carolina. Oh my gosh. South Carolina just blew the doors off the Sooners in Norman. South Carolina has played some really good football. I don't know what... See, the problem is... I don't know... I don't... The problem is I don't know Marcel Reed. Was that a mirage? Is he really that dynamic? Is he going to take the lead for Texas A&M? Is he their new Johnny Football? He was unstoppable last week. I don't know. I know South Carolina has some really good defensive linemen. I'm gonna pick the upset. I'm picking South Carolina. I'm picking South Carolina. I cannot believe I'm doing that. I can't believe I'm doing that. But I'm taking South Carolina. Evil versus evil. The Badgers and the Hawkeyes. I'm taking Wisconsin. Taking Wisconsin. I don't want to comment any more about that evil versus evil game. Pittsburgh at SMU, the last game on the schedule. And I do agree with the PATC community. I'm taking Pittsburgh to cover. Okay, so we are done. We're going to open up the phone lines. You can talk about anything you want in college football. This is what we just did. Again, my record is 39-55 against the spread. You guys are 42-52. You have a 3-game lead against me. We both took Penn State. We both took Arkansas. I took Minnesota. You all took Illinois. We both took Oregon. We both took Georgia. I took Michigan State. You all took Indiana. I took Texas Tech. You all took Iowa State. I took UCLA. You took Nebraska. We both took Clemson. I took South Carolina. You took Texas A&M. I took Wisconsin. You took Iowa. And we both picked Pittsburgh. Greg picked against all the I teams. He must be thinking there is no I in team, but there is an I in win. Oh my God! Oh my God! Richard L. approaching absolute zero. B. Bean, Greg, what have you been drinking today? Diet Coke. Diet Coke. Greg, you're going for Greg, this super freezer. Okay. AMAC, PATC, really going to separate from cold this week. All right, guys. All right. Okay. All right. Ryan Willie, Greg has been hitting the liquor cabinet too much. Thank you, Ryan Willie. Thank you for your generosity. I did take Wisconsin. Of course, you're probably not happy with that. I took Wisconsin last week and they did not cover. Thank you, Ryan Willie, for the super chat. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, now we are going to open up the phone lines. Talk about anything you want to talk about in college football. The phone line, the number is 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. West Virginia has fired their defensive coordinator. Another coordinator is fired. I've had some questions saying, is Neil Brown next? I don't know. I have not gotten any steam, any word on that. I believe he is the canary in the coal mine. In other words, if Neil Brown is let go, I think that's a good indication. I think that is an exit poll. I think that gives us a good indication there's going to be a few more that get fired. But if Neil Brown survives, I think that's going to be an indication that we're only going to get a couple firings in the power conference level. I don't think we're going to get much anyways, because we talked about it before, because of the transition year. The athletic directors, they're trying to figure out, they're trying to come up with $22, $23 million to get onto the poker table, to try to get to the salary cap floor. And they're not even, a lot of these athletic directors There are some coaches that started on the hot seat this season who have been, where their teams have been doing good enough to where the athletic director is like going, woo, I don't have to worry about that. One of them, I believe, is Jamie Thornton's Arkansas Razorback. I don't know how you can get rid of Pittman. Arkansas is playing good football. The quarterback coming back next year, Bobby Petrino. I don't think Pittman's on the hot seat anymore. So, usually when a coordinator, a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator gets fired during the season, that means the head coach, if it's done by the head coach, that means the head coach has been given some breathing room. Like, if you make a change, so the head coach made a change. Now, I did see, I don't know if I can play this. Well, I think maybe I can. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm going to play the voice of Morgantown. An interesting video has surfaced. It's a 12-second video. A 12-second video. Again, coming from the voice of Morgantown on X, where there are two, it's a 12-second video. You're going to see two Mountaineer fans, two West Virginia Mountaineer fans stand next to President Gordon Gee of West Virginia. And they're going to get a picture taken. And right when that picture is taken, both West Virginia fans say, "Fire Neil Brown." And then President Gordon Gee laughs. And then listen to what President Gordon Gee says next. Here we go.
Fire Neil Brown on 3. 1, 2, 3. Fire Neil Brown.
Oh, that was very nice. You guys, let's wait until the end of the season.
I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but Gordon Gee answers, "Let's wait till the end of the season." And then he said some other words that I could not make out. It might have been something like, "We'll figure it out," or whatever. I don't know what he said, but he said, "Let's wait till the end of the season." Interesting. Doesn't really tell us much. President Gee said, "Let's wait until the end of the season." I don't know how much it means. I just wanted to show that. Again, voice of Morgantown, his account, you can go check it out. They've got the Neil Brown billboards, Fire Neil Brown billboards in Morgantown. That was not nice. Yeah, they set the president up there. That was planned. Anyways, give us a call, 763-260-1333. Let us know what you're thinking, and anything has to do with college football. Again, this was our selection show. We usually do these on Wednesdays, but we decided to do it on a Tuesday. And I'm waiting for the go-ahead to go with a story that we have in the hopper. So we are waiting. Now, again, there are storylines just littered all over the place. Number one, Is Quinn Ewers, is he okay? Is he nicked up? Is Texas okay? Without their receiver, the transfer. Is Texas okay? Because most of the Georgia game, okay, they were playing against a great Georgia team, okay? But then against Vanderbilt, is Texas okay? Alabama, Tennessee, elimination game this week. Now, in Brownberg's, we looked at, we'll take a look at it again here. Yahoo Sports senior writer has Tennessee projected at number 8. And we do not see Alabama in the projection. So that must mean that Bromberg believes Tennessee eliminates Alabama this week. In this projection, there's 4 SEC teams, 3 Big Ten teams, no Indiana, 1 Big 12 team, 2 ACC teams, Notre Dame Independent, and Boise State, G5.
From
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, Ryan Willie. Thanks for calling. Hopefully you do not yell at me because I've got the Badgers covering against the Hawkeyes. But if you need to yell at me, go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm not going to yell, but I have to disagree with you.
Got it.
Because I honestly, I don't. Why would you want to take a? I don't know. I just.
Do you know why?
Your record. I think you should have picked Iowa. So Mecco would be upset with you, not me.
Look, the reason why I took the Badgers is because Braden Locke has had more live bullets as a Badger quarterback than Sullivan has with Iowa. In other words, congratulations, Iowa. They put up 40 points, whatever, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But Sullivan has had less reps, I'm just going by that. Braden Locke, he's a little up and down. This is his first year as a starter. Your guys' starter went out, got injured a couple quarters into the first game. I just think that Wisconsin is going to be able to edge out Iowa, but it's going to be a close game. It was a tough game to pick, I tell you that.
Going to beat Iowa by 10.
You what do you got? Wisconsin's going to beat Iowa by 10.
Yes.
Okay, well that's why I took Wisconsin.
Well, okay,
you
so
just
you
don't
think
want
it's
Greg
close.
the Cooler.
Exactly.
Well, maybe
I don't want you to jinx it.
Maybe this will be Greg the Gold. Maybe this is the time. This is the least confident I've been all year. So maybe this is the week.
Well, I really want the Hurlin Trophy back. Madison.
And I know you do.
But
The Heartland
for
Trophy.
you picking Minnesota over Illinois when Minnesota's never beat Bielema?
Yes.
What was it? Well, Wisconsin had a 14-game winning streak from like 2002 to 2016.
Yep. Yeah, well, look, here's the thing, though. This Gopher team is unlike any other Gopher team that Brett Bielema has coached against. This Gopher team is not, this Gopher team's, this offense is the most diverse offense I have seen in a very long time. Look, I get it. Most people haven't watched any Gopher game lately. I get it. You know, they lost early. Now they've won 3 in a row. There's a reason why Minnesota's favored by 3 in Champaign, Illinois. Illinois is rated number 24, but the gamblers are seeing the same thing I am. Max Brosmere is no joke, and now that he's played enough weeks with his receivers, they're connecting on everything. Darius Taylor is healthy. He wasn't healthy at the start of the year. If he would have been, Gophers would have beaten North Carolina. I'm telling you, this Minnesota team has turned the corner. They're going to go to Champaign, Illinois, and they're going to blow the doors off the Fighting Illini.
Well, I think Illinois is going to lick their wounds from the Oregon debacle and really take it to Minnesota.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be very interesting to watch, sir. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you for letting me call in.
You got it. I appreciate it,
All
Ryan
right.
Willie. I appreciate your call and your generosity with your super chat. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You got it. Great call by Ryan Willie. And again, Badger fans are not happy with me because, again, I took the Badgers. I think last week, and that was a tough game, but I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay against Iowa. Yes, BYU is the only Big 12 team in that projection. Again, I just showed one of them. Everybody's coming out with their projections, which is great because we can talk about them. I'm going to be coming out with my first one next week, right before they showcase it on Tuesday night, November 5th. The playoff committee is going to show their playoff projections, how they've got them ranked. I'm going to do the same thing either on a Monday night or early Tuesday. That's when I'm going to do my first one. No, we're going way past 6 wins, Jamie. Now, we could get our 6th win this week. We will get our 6th win this week. But we're going past 6. We are going past 6. No question about it. We both got a quarterback that is on a roll, Jamie. Both of us. Anyways, the phone lines are open. 763-260-1333. And a lot of question marks around Curtis Rourke, the starting quarterback of Indiana. Is he going to be healthy enough to play at East Lansing? Is he going to be healthy enough to play? I have not heard anything on Drew Aller. And I haven't, okay, so Expedition Great question. I haven't heard anything on Drew Aller. I don't know how serious of knee injury that is. And I forgot to mention something else. In the Pittsburgh game, the PATC community took Pittsburgh in a landslide. Took the plus 7.5. I took Pittsburgh as well. But there is some question marks on Eli Holstein, the quarterback of Pittsburgh. I read the Pittsburgh message boards this morning. there seems to be a confusion, or there was a belief. There was the belief that Holstein got dirt in his eyes and he's going to be fine. Now there is a belief that maybe he got his head hit. Maybe he's having a little bit of a concussion issue. Allegedly. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't have any inside scoop. But there are some Pittsburgh fans that are nervous that Holstein. Oh, and there's another report that that Nate Yalmer, the backup quarterback, is expected to take the reps today in their full practice. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe, but I'm just throwing that out there. I have Pittsburgh, just like you guys got Pittsburgh. Hopefully Holstein is going to be okay. Now, Nittany 89. If Drew Aller is getting some practice time, if he is, that means he doesn't have an ACL issue. If he's actually practicing today or Wednesday, that's really good news for the Nittany Lions. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything. There was another question about Benjamin Cask. When will there be another members only video? I thought there would be one 2 weeks ago. I thought there would be one last week. Now here we are sitting Tuesday, October 29th. I wish I had an answer for you, Benjamin. I got a story and I'm waiting for the go-ahead. When I drop it, it's going to drop on the members only early peak Cloak and Dagger episodes first. And then we'll talk about it on the next live show afterwards. But I cannot promise you when on that. And then there's other stuff that I'm working on. I don't know, Benjamin. It's been a while. It's probably been the longest time since I dropped the video. It doesn't mean there's not things percolating. But I have to make sure that I can harvest the field over and over and over again. I don't want to burn a certain person that's given me some information and he's not letting me go with it yet. But when I can, I will. That's the best. I know that's a lousy answer, but it's the only one I got. Wait, Greg the Gold is a doctor. Can I get a second opinion? No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. You won't hear anything on Drew until game day. Gary, Mr. Nittany Lion. I got to tell you, I have not been paying attention to Florida State and Clemson's court cases. I haven't been really paying attention. I do not believe I've missed anything important because I think I would have been told if I missed something important. Raiola, again, Nebraska's offensive line is not good. Their running backs are not high quality. Their wide receivers can't get separation. Dylan Raiola needs an influx of really good talent coming into Lincoln in his second year next year. But Dylan Raiola himself, he had a shaky game last couple weeks. He's a great talent. He just needs help next year. Hopefully they give him that help. But he's a very good young quarterback. No question about it. Any news on Jaw Joyner? Yes. Expect him to play. He's going to be okay. Jaw Joyner, the great defensive end rush, probably going to be a second or third round draft pick in the NFL draft next year for the Golden Gophers. Got nicked up near the end of that game last week. I have been told he's going to be okay, Tony. That he is okay. Notre Dame doesn't deserve a spot. The Northern Illinois loss at home is unforgivable. Well, it did hurt them, right? It hurt them. They've played awfully good since then. What the Northern Illinois loss did to Notre Dame is that they cannot have another hiccup. If they have another hiccup, they're not going to make it. But if they win the rest of the games, they're going to the playoffs. And then they're probably most likely going to host a home game. And the projections from the Yahoos, in my opinion, and in this projection, they don't have Notre Dame hosting a home game. They're number 9. If Notre Dame wins out, they're going to be number 9, number 8, number 7, something like that. But I understand I understand what you're saying, MBM. Your best guess as of today to win the national championship. B. Bean. Probably Oregon, because I know for sure they're going to make the playoffs, right? I mean, Georgia probably will make it, right? Oregon's going to get in there. So that helps the chances, right? I would say Oregon. At the beginning of the season, I had the Ducks losing in the championship game against the Bulldogs, Georgia, at the beginning of the season. And I'm not going to change that. I got Georgia beating Oregon in the national championship, but right now, I'm not going to change my prediction. But right now, if you say who had the best chance, I would say Oregon. Skaven, yes, Mr. Cornhusker. If Nebraska, I think you meant doesn't. If Nebraska doesn't win this Saturday, they won't win the rest of the year. I think they got Iowa, Wisconsin, and USC. Correct? I've got UCLA covering when we did our predictions earlier today. I think Nebraska wins in a close one. I think UCLA, Nebraska, neither team's going to be able to run the ball. I think it's going to be Garbers versus Raiola. I think it's going to be close. But I think Nebraska gets it done. I think Nebraska becomes bowl eligible. If they lose, then everything's going to get a lot tighter. It's difficult because, it's going to be difficult. Tony says Nebraska will beat Wisconsin. Lanning is still a good dog. Coming from Georgia, Oregon's head coach. Thank you, B. Bean. Appreciate it. Immaculate is in the house. Oregon, top-tier talent that doesn't ever take a week off, plays tough, has weapons at every position. It took Oregon a while to get warmed up, right? Idaho and Boise State. But now they're all lathered up. Now they're all warmed up. All right, guys, we'll shut it down here. We've been on the air for an hour and 40 minutes. We made our picks. No one's calling in, so we will just shut it down. And again, keep your head on a swivel. Again, we are sitting on a couple stories. We're just sitting. Hopefully, we can do our peek around the corner, give you the peek when I get the go-ahead. But for now, we're talking college football throughout the week. Week 10 is coming up. It's going to be it's going to be the Buckeye-Nittany Lion game. The loser of that game, just that one game itself, is going to cause a college football nuclear explosion. Just that game itself. It's going to be something. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Keep your head on a swivel. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and make sure you have your notifications on, because we can come on live at any time, in the morning, at noon, late at night. So keep your head on a swivel. Until next time, from all of us at PATC to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.